I think my gift in music is definitely not being a virtuoso at anything. I could play all instruments. I've played all instruments in bands, but I don't shred on nothing. You know what I mean? I was just always, even from day one, I was just a music producer. I played drums in the first band I was in because no one else wanted to play fucking drums. I go, we need a fucking drummer, I'll buy drums. And then I got into drums, and I'm putting all the songs together, arranging them, writing the lyrics, putting it all together. Me and James, we both wrote shit. James wrote a lot of lyrics. I wrote a lot of lyrics. He wrote a lot of the guitar riffs. He would give me tapes of the guitar riffs, and I would pick the ones that I like, and then I would put them in a song, and then I'd record the song by myself and give it to the rest of the band. And then James would be listening and go, oh shit, there's my riff. Oh shit, there it is again, boom. So I would put it together. I was always the guy putting together all the music. Only playing drums because no one else was, no one else gonna do it, I'm gonna fucking do it. And then when I moved to Hollywood, I'm like, fuck drums, I'm gonna play guitar. I'm writing all the music anyways. But I was never, and I was always engineering, and I was always the one doing everything. I never was great at it, like engineering or producing. I just did it because we couldn't afford to go into a goddamn studio and do it right. Back then it was $20 an hour for a 24 track. We're like, fuck, that's a lot of money. But I would buy this little fucking shitty tape recorder. We would make demos and it sounded like shit. And we're like, you know what? Let's all save our money and go into a real studio. We'd save our money. And back then that was the thing. There was these studios, 24 track, 48 track. It was like just old school shit. But $20 an hour, so we'd save our money. I'm like, fuck, let's see what happens if we get some legit production. So we'd go, but we'd always be in a big hurry because we didn't have that much money. We're like, fuck, we don't have much money. We gotta fucking finish this shit. Yeah. So then we would listen to that and we're like, fuck, man, a lot of mistakes. We were rushed. Fuck, maybe it was better if we just do it ourselves. And then we could just take our time. You know what I mean? We're not rushed. And then we would do that, and then it would sound like shit. And then we'd go, fuck, let's save our money again. Let's go back into another studio. Go back into another studio, totally rushed. Always running out of time. And then we'd fucking listen to it and be like, oh, fuck it, let me just do it by myself. Get in a car wreck, boom, use the fucking money, maybe insurance money to buy an 8-track. Now I got an 8-track, So I started spending money, bought a PA system, got rear-ended and shit.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That happened? Oh shit.
I didn't make that up. I got hit twice.
Damn.
And one time I bought an 8-track recorder thing. I was always the one doing everything. But so my point to all that is I was never the dude who was just I'm just gonna practice all day. I'm putting together the songs. I'm listening to the melodies. I'm not worried about shredding. I'm like, you shred. And I'll just play good enough, you know what I mean? But I never progressed. I was probably better at guitar back when I was playing all the time in my 20s. I'm producing music. I still play, but I'm not, I'm nowhere near what I used to be because it's like doing jujitsu every now and then after a while you're just not going to be that good. You know what I mean? Compared to the dudes who are fucking practicing all the goddamn time. But anyways, the one thing that I was always good at was usually on average it takes the average person without a music video, because when you don't have your visuals locked in, it must be that. When you have your visuals locked in to the music and you're paying attention to something with music, you get it right away. That's how powerful the music video is. But if you're listening to it on the radio and you're driving around, you're looking at the freeway, you're listening to this music, but it's daytime, visually you're not connecting to the music, so it's gonna take a while. You listen to a song it was all right, I didn't really like it. And then 4 listens later, it's your favorite fucking song. You have it on repeat. Yeah. But people don't pay attention to that. They don't keep track of damn, isn't it weird that I didn't think the song was shit the first 2 listens, but then that 3rd listen, I was like, fuck, I like this shit. Yeah. And then now I love it. No one, most people are aware that happens, but they don't understand why or
I felt that too.
That happened to me with Pedro the Lion magazine.
For sure.
When I first heard it, and you said that you're just give it a few listens, yeah. And then now but then I jumped over to your version of it, and I'm like that. I like that way better because also it's inspired by.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then seeing
if I'm gonna remix a song, it's for me. I always trusted myself because I got to the point. where I was, once I started smoking weed, I realized how biased I was with music. I was always like, there were certain bands that are like your favorite football team, like no matter what, you fucking like that album. And then other bands you don't like because like your girlfriend thought the fucking singer was cute. So no matter how good they are, you're like, I don't fuck that band, they suck. You know what I mean? Like Soundgarden. I never gave Soundgarden any respect because I'll never forget. I'm dating this stripper. I'm 21. I'm 21 years old, and Outshine comes out by Soundgarden. And we're in the bedroom, and she fucking just like, oh my God. She's like, what? She's just like watching MTV. She's all excited, going, oh my God, he's so hot. Oh my God, he's so hot. Like Outshine. And this one, Chris Cornell, he's like Brad Pitt of rock. When he had his long hair and he was like 22, dude, I fucking hated that motherfucker. Fuck that motherfucker. Fuck that motherfucker. You know what I mean? So that affects the music. That affects the music. I'm not rooting for the music.
Yeah.
I'm not rooting for but there was some songs that were undeniable, like Jesus Christ Pose. I'm like, okay, fuck that dude, but that's a great song. That's a great song, but fuck that dude. Never got into it.
Why? Because it was too mainstream?
No, it's just like Black Hole Sun.
Yeah,
well, it was all right. It's like White Stripes or something, but like, you know what I mean? It was all right, but it never, I just go by my instincts. If I haven't put it on it, if I really like it, I'll put it on repeat. If I never put it on repeat over and over, I never really liked it. Yeah. And I only do that, and now once I started smoking weed, I realized I dropped all my allegiance and my alliances with bands. I'm like, oh my God, that's some blind ass shit. So I just always, so when I listen to music, once I started smoking weed, I listen for music. I don't care. Like Bjork, I never gave a fuck about Bjork. Like she was all, everything I heard. You don't have time to look into every band. There's literally a trillion bands. So really, everybody is like, who did you have time for? Did you ever have time for this band? You don't have that much time for music. Right. That takes time. Where's your how you putting this time in? So there's a million bands. So everyone chooses a couple, and they're open for new ones. But we don't have that much time. I'm gonna stick with these bands, and there's a lot of bands that maybe you would have liked, but you just didn't have time to look into them. You don't have time. It didn't come across. Then one day, you're at some chick's house and she's playing a song. You're like, what the fuck is that? And then all of a sudden, so when I'm DJing. I'm being exposed to music 8 hours a day, loud as fuck. It's killing me. It's destroying me. The bad songs, like horrible songs, loud. Not like working at a radio station where after, once you're done talking, you take the headphones off. You don't have to have loud music in your goddamn ear. At the strip club, it was loud. And if it was bad, and these bitches, they like playing songs over and every time they go up, it's the same fucking song. And you can't say shit because they're paying you. You know what I mean? Every chick pays you a percentage of her shit. So, you let her play. You let her play whatever the fuck she wants to play. You know what I mean? She plays whatever she... So I got exposed to way more music than the average person. There's no way. 8 hours a day, 3 days a week, for 10 years. I got exposed to a lot of music. So I got exposed to some amazing music that I would have never found on my own. Just some random bitch that loves this song Hyper Ballad from Bjork, right? I would have never got that deep. I heard a couple of her singles and I wasn't that impressed. I'm like, that's just some weird bitch. I don't have time. I don't have time for everybody. I'm not disappointed. I don't like most bands, you know what I mean? So I never even really thought about it. Heard this song, I'm like, oh shit, who is this? I'm like, fucking Bjork? God damn. So I love that song, and because there was no bias, and I love it so much, and I'm not a fan of hers, I know that people will like it. So I would just make mixed CDs of songs I discovered at the strip club. You know what I mean? At the strip club, I'm like discovering all the shit, and I'm always writing them down, keeping track of them, boom. Always kept track. Always knew even back then I was going to remix them. Always knew. I thought, let me blow up my original shit first. Let me blow up all that shit, and then I'll have 35 bombs I'm going to drop on people. I'm going to take all these songs I collected over the years at the strip club. And I know they're good. I know they're guaranteed. I know they're good because I didn't give a shit about those bands, and I love that song. That's when you know, if you love that band, and you grew up with the band, and then their new album comes out, it really sucks, but you want to like it. So I like it. I like track 3, and I like track 5. I'm like, dude, it's horrible, but you just feel an allegiance to them because they're like a band. Once you get rid of that shit and just listen to music, just who cares who it is? Is it good or isn't good? You know what I mean? I'm not like this huge like Coldplay fan, but if you look through enough Coldplay and you go deep, you could find some great Coldplay.
First album.
You're like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, Coldplay. Seriously, I was never like the first like that Yellow. That was the first song that came out. I'm like, whatever. Like Yellow. I never was into Yellow, and like the first couple songs that came out, I'm like,
they had a lot of mainstream music for
right.
sure. They had a lot of mainstream music that was aimed to just
But
be
their
like commercial.
second album and third album, they started dropping some magic. I'm like, the Speed of Sound, one of the greatest songs ever, man. Speed of Sound, shit. And it's a great song. In Clocks, it's that piano song. Everybody in the band hated it. And he was playing that piano piece. They're like, "Oh, dude, no, let's. Do you have anything else?" And he just said, "He said you guys are gonna like it eventually. Eventually you're gonna like it." And it's one of the greatest, one of the biggest songs ever in rock history. Clocks by Coldplay. It's huge. Video's awesome. Video looks the video looks awesome. But my point is, I don't give a fuck about Coldplay. You know what I mean? I'm not rooting for them. But if I'm open to the song hits me. They got a song, never was a single, called See You Soon. And the live version, not the album version, but the live version from Australia in like 2001 or 2003. That's one of the greatest songs ever. Never was a single, never was a video or nothing.
Live performance?
The live one's better than the studio. It's amazing, dude. That dude's fucking talented. That motherfucker could pick up a guitar and just fucking sound like an angel, dude. And he's like, you don't want your girl around that motherfucker. You're at a party, motherfucker pulls out a guitar and he starts singing the Coldplay songs. You want to leave that party. You don't want to go. You don't want to be at that party with your girl. You know what I mean? You don't want to be there with your girl.
How about Radiohead? Do you like Radiohead?
That's great shit. Yeah, I would say
The Basement.
Yes, I was about to say
there's
that.
about 10,
That's my favorite
at least
one.
10 amazing Radiohead songs.
ACL Live.
There's 10. The Reckoner is one of the greatest songs of all time.
Yeah.
They got really.
Idiotech.
They were Idiotech for sure. Fake Plastic Trees, High and Dry.
Shit to listen to for sure.
Yeah, Black Star. Blame It on the Black Star. Remember that one? That was never a single, but that's a great song.
That's some good shit to
Like Radiohead, I discovered that at the strip club. Some bitch, like right when Fake Plastic Trees, that album, The Bends, right when it came out, Anushka was her name. She always had the cool indie shit. She showed up, she played Radiohead. I'm like, Radiohead, what a dumb fucking name, Radiohead. You know what? And then first she came out with the Pablo Honey was their first album, and the single to that I didn't like at all. I still don't like, so that turned me off. Like the first time, Radiohead ain't shit. I didn't realize that they were fucking gonna.
3-album deal. They're on their they were still in college at Cambridge, and they got a 3-album deal.
They were one of the first bands to release a CD for free online.
That too.
I bet. Yeah, you know what? I heard.
Donation based.
I heard that the singer for Coldplay is he didn't have the typical upbringing that your average rock star goes through. Bad life and all that shit, and hard times, broken family, on drugs, growing up, child abuse, rock star, right? Usually that's what it is. Yeah. That's the combo. Him, it wasn't. Him was great family, valedictorian at school, always played guitar and piano and sang, and was just like the most popular guy in school. Oh my God. No pain at all. So that throws a monkey wrench into the theory that pain breeds rock stars. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, it wasn't like that for him. What if he was Illuminati? You know what I mean? What if he was? He came from money, valedictorian. He had his apparently this is what a documentary I saw. It could be full of shit.
Married to Gwyneth Paltrow.
I thought he always took lessons, singing lessons.
Do you think they're
He was just, as far as I know, he was came from a wealthy family. Great upbringing, family.
For sure. Do you think there's industry plants?
It could be. What was that?
Industry plants. You know what that means?
What is that?